Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you send us and, well, we dive deep into them.
Yeah, pulling out the most interesting, the most important bits.
Exactly. Think of it as us doing the heavy lifting so you get the key takeaways, maybe a few aha moments.
And hopefully have a bit of fun along the way.
Today, we're tackling something really intriguing thanks to an article one of you shared. It's about the her game market in China.
That's right. We've got this piece, uses this slightly unusual term.
Yeah.
And our mission today is basically to unpack what her game market actually means.
Understand the term, why it's significant, what it's telling us about the Chinese gaming scene.
And maybe even what it suggests about trends elsewhere. Yeah.
Definitely. And that name, her game market, it immediately makes you ask, why her? What's specific about it?
And there is a reason, which is kind of the starting point.
Okay, let's get into it. The article explains the term arose pretty organically. It came from a real trend, more and more women playing games in China.
Right. And there's a statistic mentioned about women making up around 23% of game sales or revenue.
Which is, a decent chunk, but the article stresses that number doesn't really tell the whole story.
Not at all. That's just direct game spending.
The really fascinating part is this distinction the article draws in how men and women often engage with games.
This is where it got really interesting for me. It suggests men often focus on, mastering a game.
Yeah, getting really good, understanding the mechanics inside out.
Whereas women often tend to enjoy the game world more broadly.
It's maybe less about hitting the absolute peak skill level for many, and more about the overall experience, the immersion.
Right. And that difference in how they engage is crucial.
It is, because women who get into a games world are apparently much more likely to get involved with all the other stuff that comes from it.
Like the multimedia expansions.
Exactly. Comics, anime series, stage shows, even real-world events tied to the game. They engage with the whole franchise.
Okay, so that 23% revenue figure suddenly feels way too small. It's just the tip of the iceberg, potentially. Because her game market, as the article defines it, isn't just the games.
It's this whole bigger picture, this media mix market.
Precisely. It encompasses that entire ecosystem where women are becoming really important consumers, recognizing that full scope.
That makes sense. And it definitely challenges some older views. The article had that funny example.
That consumer ranking thing?
Yeah. In Chinese retail, that hierarchy, young women first, then children, then women, elderly dogs, and then men at the bottom.
Yeah, it's obviously a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it highlights a common perception in retail there.
But gaming initially didn't fit that mold at all.
No, it was the exception. Dominated by young men, kind of an outlier.
But that's clearly changing now. The article really emphasizes this shift. Women are a major force in gaming consumption.
A really significant force.
Oh.
And importantly, it's not just the casual mobile games you might automatically assume.
That's another key point, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, sure, women globally play casual games, romance sims, and that's true in China too. But what's unique in China, according to this article, is how many women are playing in genres we typically think of as male-dominated.
Like battle games, MOBAs.
Exactly.
Really?
Multiplayer online battle arenas.
And the big example they use is Honor of Kings.
Right. A massive game, initially huge with young boys, right?
Yeah.
Caused some controversy even. Led to playtime limits for kids.
So very much seen as a male space.
Totally. Which is why it was so surprising when, I think it was a 2017 survey mentioned in the article, found that the female player ratio in Honor of Kings was 51.7%. Actually more women than men playing.
Wow. Okay, so why? Why are women in China drawn to these, battle-focused games?
Well, one clue the article gives is that a huge percentage, like 80.6% of those female Honor of Kings players were totally new to MOBAs.
So the game itself was the gateway.
It seems like it. It brought a whole new demographic into that genre.
That's pretty remarkable.
It is. And the article also mentions other action games like PUBG Mobile and Knives Out. I think that's... Female participation there isn't quite as high as Honor of Kings, but still significant. More than you might have previously expected for those kinds of shooters.
Okay, so women are a major presence even in competitive genres. The article then links this to how the games make money, right? This shift in business models.
Exactly. It connects the rise of female players to the move from pay-to-win models towards pay-to-fun.
Let's break that down. Pay-to-win is basically paying for advantages.
Pretty much. The article uses examples like Puzzle and Dragons, gotcha mechanics for powerful characters buying stamina.
Or QQ Farm back in the day, buying fertilizers to speed things up.
Right. You get free access, but there are constant nudges to spend money to get ahead, to be stronger or faster than others.
Which can get frustrating.
Definitely.
Hmm.
The article points out the downside. It becomes more about who spends the most, not who plays the best. That can lead to players leaving.
So then comes pay to fun, and Honor of Kings is the key example here.
Yes. The game's free.
Yeah.
And crucially, the stuff you can buy like skins, costumes, decorations.
That doesn't affect your power level.
Nope. Zero impact on gameplay balance. Winning is down to your skill and how well you work with your team.
So the money comes from
Cosmetics.
Yeah.
People get attached to their favorite characters, and they want to personalize them, make them look cool or unique.
So it taps into expression and maybe social status within the game rather than raw power.
Exactly. It shifts from paying for advantage to paying for enjoyment, aesthetics, self-expression,
Mm.
which seems to resonate differently.
And the article argues this pay-to-fun approach might actually be better long-term.
Yeah, potentially higher lifetime value. Games can last longer because the core gameplay remains fair. Plus, skill-based games can become successful esports.
Right, you can't really have an esport if it's just about who paid more.
Precisely. So how does this pay-to-fun model specifically attract more women? The article has some interesting survey data on this.
Okay, yeah, I remember this. Why people started playing Honor of Kings.
Right. For men, common answers were things like, I like MOBAs, or I want to rank high, competitive reasons.
But for women?
Top reasons were, I saw friends playing, and friends recommended it. Much more social.
That's a clear difference. And spending habits, too.
Also different. Men who spent money were more likely buying other characters, expanding their gameplay options.
Yeah, and women.
Much more likely to spend on improving character appearance, buying those cosmetic items, the fun stuff.
So it aligns perfectly with that pay-to-fun model.
It really does. And you can see how MOBAs, being team-based, support this social angle.
Yeah, like you can still have fun and contribute even if you're not like the absolute top player on the team, a bit like casual sports.
Good analogy. And the shared experience with friends seems paramount.
There's also that interesting bit about what gaming replaced for women.
Oh, yeah. Men playing Honor of Kings cut back mostly on other games.
But women cut back on watching movies, TV dramas, variety shows.
Right. Which suggests that for many women in China, gaming is now mainstream entertainment, right up there competing with TV for their time.
That's a significant shift in perception and behavior. So, okay, the market's growing, the models are changing. Let's talk numbers again.
Right. By 2019, women were 23% of that huge 230.8 billion yuan game market.
And that was up quite a bit from 2015 when it was only, 15.6%?
Yeah, a clear upward trajectory. And the article credits this partly to hit games coming out each year that really clicked with female players.
It lists a bunch of examples, doesn't it? Quite varied.
Very varied. 2015 had Miracle Nikki, a dress-up game.
Then 2016 on Myoji, that battle game with the Japanese aesthetic.
2017, Love and Producer, pure romance simulation.
2018 was interesting. Travel Frog, that super casual, almost passive game. And Love Balls, the physics puzzler.
Unexpected hits, both of them. Then 2019 had Shiny Nikki, a 3D dress-up sequel, and Music Jump, a TikTok rhythm game.
And for 2020, when the article was likely written, it mentioned Fusheng Wai Kango, a 3D avatar RPG, and Shanjaxiaxio, a match 3.
It's a real mix. Dress-up, battle, romance, casual, puzzle, RPG.
And lots of these games aren't just China only, right? They go global, get multimedia adaptations.
That's a key point. They have broad appeal. Now, despite those examples leaning a bit towards traditionally female genres.
There's a twist.
Yeah, the article throws in a surprising stat about overall genre popularity based on monthly active users.
Don't tell me.
Shooting games came out on top for women in China.
Curiously, shooting games.
Yep, followed by MOBA, then Match 3, then sports games. Simulation was further down. It suggests a real convergence in genre tastes compared to maybe Western markets.
Wow, okay. But it's not monolithic, right? The article mentions age differences.
Big differences. It breaks it down by generation, basically.
Mm.
Post-2000s, teens lean towards online competitive.
Makes sense. 20s,
They like shooting games most.
30s, and 40s.
Simulation and management games become more popular.
And the article suggests this isn't just age, but life stage. Student, worker, mother.
Exactly. Your environment, your available time, who you play with, it all factors in.
They summarized it with those 4 categories from that 2020 report.
Right. Teens.
Yeah.
Cute stuff, dress up, nurturing. Young women, 18 plus. Romance. But also shooters MOBAs, often played with partners or friends.
Social connection again?
Yeah. Working women, Match 3, action things that are quick, maybe less story-heavy for commutes, and mothers. Educational games or simulation management they can play with kids.
That paints a much clearer picture. Younger women have broader tastes. Older women maybe focus on fewer hits.
That seems to be the trend noted. And understanding these nuances is obviously vital for developers.
Which brings us back to the business side, the so what.
The bottom line. Her game market matters because it's profitable.
We have the 23% direct game revenue.
But again, the article hammers home that the real value often lies beyond that in the multimedia stuff.
The merchandise, the comics, the anime, the events. Women engage with the whole world.
That they really invest in the IP they love. And that's why the term her game market exists, to capture that whole ecosystem.
So companies are building strategies around this.
Definitely. Planning games and multimedia together from the start, specializing in genres that lend themselves to ongoing content and IP building.
It even suggests games could become like promotional tools for the other media.
That's one potential future, yeah. And we're seeing companies with existing anime or comic IP getting into game development more too.
It's like the flow is reversing compared to, say, Japan, where it's often manga to anime to game.
Especially for this female demographic in China, games are increasingly the engine driving the whole media franchise.
And this isn't just staying within China's borders.
No, many of these games are successful globally, played in Japan, Southeast Asia, elsewhere. Which makes you wonder.
Could we see a similar her game market dynamic emerge more strongly in other regions?
It's possible. The article concludes that while the core game dev hubs like Japan, the US, Korea are still dominant.
This specific her game market model really took root in China and is spreading,
suggesting a potentially significant shift in the global gaming landscape, driven by this engaged female audience and the associated media mix.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive here, key takeaways. This unique her game market concept in China.
Driven by women engaging deeply not just with games, but the whole world around them.
The importance of that pay-to-fun model in attracting and retaining players.
And those evolving, diverse genre preferences across different demographics of women.
And it really makes you think about the implications for the global industry, doesn't it? How games are made, how they're marketed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener.
Go on.
Could this model, this focus on world building, community, and that whole multimedia engagement strategy, could that actually be the future for building successful, long-lasting game IPs? Not just in China, but everywhere.
Something to definitely ponder.
Huh.
Is the her game market a regional phenomenon or a glimpse of the future?